How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm a little bit tired, but as you can probably tell from my eyes, but I'm good, yeah.
I'll take it easy on you then. I'll start easy with, well, you've had a lot of experience, but what first attracted you to playing guitar? Was there one thing that stuck out?
The first thing that attracted me to play guitar, I mean, my dad's a musician, my dad plays guitar, and I think I just would hear him play around the house quite a lot. And yeah, I don't know, it's probably just like hearing kind of like blues music and stuff. My dad taught me to play a little kind of dum 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 dum, and then after that, yeah, I just was hooked on it really.
And what age was this?
6 or 7 maybe.
Okay.
I started getting lessons when I was at 8, so yeah, I was probably mucking around before that for a couple of years.
Did you become serious with it quite quickly?
I mean, as serious as a child can be about music.
Enough.
Obviously, I was worried about Pokemon cards and yo-yos and stuff like that as well. But yeah, but I knew that I wanted to do music.
Okay.
Pretty much from, I don't know, from the age of like 10 or something. I knew I wanted to do music. Yeah.
And what gave you this feeling? Was it just the joy that you got out of it?
Yeah, just a love playing. I've always just felt like an urge to just make music. I've always had bands and recorded music and kind of was always making little tunes in my bedroom on like Cubase when I was younger. And
do you still have those?
Huh?
Do you still have those recordings?
I found a CD actually recently with some things that I made when I was a teenager. But some stuff has got lost as well. Just
Okay.
probably things that at the time I was like, I don't care about this. I'm over this. And now I'm like, I really want to hear that.
Because when you found that CD, and I assume you listened to it, what did you hear?
What did I hear?
Yeah, what did you hear in what you were playing then?
A load of teenage nonsense. The music's all right, but I was just writing about things like, I love songs about things that I never actually experienced. Like, oh my God, why did you leave me? Like, yeah.
But that feeling of kind of writing something down, coming up with a guitar loop or whatever, what did that do for you? What did that give you? That creative aspect?
What does it do for me? I suppose it's just a form of self-expression, isn't it? It's quite cathartic, if you know that word. It's like kind of it's a really good way of kind of letting out things that you're feeling about stuff, and also I think it can be a good way of dealing with things in yourself. Like it kind of puts them in a tangible format. But also it's just the joy of playing music. Like it doesn't have to be that serious. Like it doesn't have to be like you're trying to achieve some really deep thing by writing down a song. Like it's just fun. I think it's good to try and create things just for the sheer pleasure of it.
And was there a moment where you felt like, because obviously you studied guitar and everything, but was there a time where you felt, okay, now I kind of figured out how to play this instrument? Obviously, there's always more to learn. But
yeah, I would say I still haven't figured out how to play the guitar.
No, but in the sense that you can get what you had in your mind, you can kind of create that.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. That probably happened during when I was studying jazz. I went to music college in London, studied jazz. And during that time, I just spent a lot of time just really, really focusing on my guitar playing and trying to improve my musicianship and knowledge of music. And I mean, I would say that I probably was better at playing guitar a couple of years ago than I am now, in a way. It's different. Like I've concentrated on different things now. I'm concentrating more on my writing at the moment. So yeah, I would say probably when I was at music college.
Where do you draw your inspiration from when it comes to writing then? Is it just everyday life? Is it life experience?
All sorts really, like everyday life experience, relationships, I learn a lot from the people around me, just always trying to improve as a person. But then it might be, something in the news, it might be a book or Got a little book here. Try and read. Try, you know, keep inspired about things, and yeah, like it goes in waves. Like sometimes I'm really inspired to write a lot. Reading a lot of poetry also kind of puts a lot of interesting words into my mind and stuff as well. But sometimes I'll take lulls when I'm not really writing, or writing. I might just be writing instrumental music, and then I'll come back to it. Yeah.
And you say you're focusing on songwriting at the moment. So, what have you noticed or maybe discovered in the last couple of months, maybe year, about songwriting, about how you write songs and what you're looking for in the song?
What have I discovered? I've definitely discovered that I think the place I enjoy most is being in the studio. Okay. Like I really, although I love performing and love connecting with people, I like that sort of introvert space where you're just really focusing on something and kind of putting it together it's like a puzzle. But I've also, it's taken a while, but I've definitely now, I think I've worked out a process that really works for creating songs, because I think it's taken me a long time to work out how I want to make my music. And I think I've done stuff with different people, and I've worked with some great producers and stuff, but I think now I've finally worked out the way that works best, gets the best result, and that I enjoy the process most now. Yeah.
And what is it about the studio? Is it kind of the kind of solitude in a way, or is it also the idea that the possibilities are endless in a way?
I like that, yeah, like just being able to just add so many things and just create, like, it's just like the fine detail is just quite satisfying, and in a way it's also like, it feels like less pressure, like it's just kind of like you're just there, you're creating the music, and that's the only thing that you're thinking about. You know, I switch my phone off, I don't talk to anyone, I'm just like, it's quite meditative. Like, when you're performing also, when you're getting into this kind of, you get into this moment where it's quite meditative, if you're already communicating with the people that you're playing with, or like the people that are watching, and it can be like that as well. But the thing with performing, it comes with like this sort of bravado thing, like you have to like have this character. And, well, not necessarily, but in a way you're kind of encouraged to do that, because, you know, people have an idea of who you are when you perform. And don't get me wrong, I love playing, performing as well, but it's just it's a different, just very much more focused situation, which I quite like. Yeah.
Let's take a song now, one of the latest ones. Let's take Lizard Street. If you look at that track, where do you start with a track? Like
where did I start with that track? You know, that track, that was something that's kind of existed for a long time. It's quite a weird one, that I wrote the chord sequence for that. That was the first thing I did that. I think I was in a session, with my friend Gio, who's like a producer. We were just mucking around. Came up with this little chord sequence. They had this little synth thing, and then we're just mucking around, and we kind of like, it existed to something for a while, and then I wrote those lyrics when I was away on holiday, had some relationship issues. I kind of felt like I needed to deal with some stuff with myself that I hadn't really thought about, some kind of insecurities and pride issues. But then that happened a very long time ago, and I had these lyrics, and it never really worked out that well, and then I kind of like took it away and then kind of worked on it with the band and turned it into a more of like an instrumental thing, or like not instrumental, like a stuff with live instruments and stuff. And then now I look at that song from a different lens, because I'm not in that situation, I'm not in that relationship, I'm not, and in a way it's kind of got an element of humor in it now. Like, I think it's, and I've tried to bring that into it, like this whole idea of like being a reptile and being like, you know, that thing about the reptilian race, like people say like these world leaders are all the reptilian like race, and it's like kind of getting caught up with this capitalist concept of who you are, and then being like a lizard. Yeah.
No, that's interesting, but for a number of reasons. One, I think you definitely should be able to laugh at yourself at some point about it. But also, you mentioned a cathartic element. So
Yeah.
after this separation of time, did it help writing that song in a way to kind of figure that out, or was that already
I
done with?
mean, it was already dealt with, but also like I just really like the songs, and also I think it's nice to be able to laugh at yourself or laugh at a situation and look at it with, there's no like, I don't have any regrets about my life or anything. Just
Fair enough.
yeah.
When I have to mention live in Amsterdam because we're based in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
So what was the reason you did it in Amsterdam?
Well, we recorded a few gigs on that tour. That was at a sweet spot in the tour where the band was sounding good, and I knew that like we'd get quite a good reception in the Netherlands in general, so I knew that it would be a good gig, and it just came out well. Like we recorded the London gig as well, but the acoustics of the space was not really right, and it was just a great night like that. It just came out good, so we just picked certain songs from the set, and yeah.
And that idea about kind of appreciation for the type of music that you make. Obviously, the musical landscape goes up and down with what is interesting for people, especially the mass. But jazz and that kind of music always seems to be around. So have you felt that as well? That there's always a place to go to with the type of music that you make?
Always a place to go to.
Or am I looking in the wrong way? Isn't that kind of
I mean, I wouldn't. I suppose that's kind of viewing it like I'm like in this kind of, I don't know, just in this one genre in a way. But
Right.
I suppose when I think about making music, obviously jazz is a big influence to me, and
Sure.
I've studied that as a guitarist or whatever. But when I make music, I don't really think about that at all. I just kind of make music. But obviously I've been involved with a scene, and lots of people around me have really started to make tracks with what they're doing, and are getting a bit like wider praise, and that's great. And it's definitely made a lot of things possible for a lot of us, and people can now actually live off their art and not having to work other jobs and stuff like that. And I don't know if I'm really answering the question properly, but yeah, so that kind of appreciation of the music now has been very helpful. But also at the same time, like I would say, especially for me as like a songwriter and lyricist and all of that as well, I don't know, I'm not trying to just be in like one thing. I'm just trying to like just do whatever it is I want to do. That's why I was come and try and do things like this, or I don't know, other things where I'm trying to. I know that my music could be enjoyed by people who don't necessarily say they like jazz, because there's so many influences of other things like hip hop, R&B, some rock, some all sorts of things, folk music even. So yeah.
What is one artist then that people that you like or listen to that people might not expect?
People might not expect.
Or just something that influenced you maybe recently that is.
I don't know, Megan Thee Stallion.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been watching her Tiny Desk thing with Phony People. It is incredible. I rate her so much. She's not someone I really like listen to like on a daily basis, but I have so much respect for her. And like, I know that people probably, I don't know, would not expect that necessarily from me, but yeah, so that's one.
Fair enough. Now, with the kind of the couple of songs that you've released recently, are you looking towards an album?
Yeah, I am. I'm basically just working on that at the moment. I can't say too much.
Fair enough.
I don't know what I'm allowed to say right now, but yeah, basically, album imminent.
Okay. And well, I'm not going to ask you what to expect then, but more in general, then what would you want people to hear in your music or get out of your music?
What would I like people to get out of it? I mean, just maybe like an interest in art for art's sake, not getting too caught up in the whole kind of bravado and like you know, wider self-conscious thing that comes around music. I want people who come to see me come to play because the music has connected with them in some shape or form, whether that's on an instrumental level or, you know, a lyrical level, or just because they're enjoying it. But I don't know. Like, I like that lots of people can get different things from the music as well. That quite excites me. Like, people get a different feeling or idea of what I'm saying in the song necessarily. Like, and that can be, yeah. I quite like that. It's quite cool.
Yeah, fair enough. Oscar, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.